Long time no see. How are you all? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a very long time since I've sat down and talked to you, and for that I am very, very sorry. I literally have no explanation for it at all. Like, none. Sorry, it's just one of those things that happen sometimes. Just life happens and you just forget to film, edit and upload YouTube videos. So, my bad. I have missed you guys though, and interacting with you and making content for you, but I'm back-ish. Semi-back. I feel like this is a video though that I did need to make to catch you up with everything that you've missed, because you have missed a fair few things since I last talked to you properly. Some of them good, some of them maybe not as good, some of them things that are exciting to look forward to in the future. I'll start off with the one that's maybe not so good. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It's something that you've probably assumed by now anyway, but I just haven't spoken about it publicly online before. It's something that is probably very glaringly obvious, considering it's not something that I make current content about, or, you know, you don't see me there on board anymore. But obviously one of the main reasons why my channel is continuing to grow as much, a lot of the traffic comes through the videos that I make about Disney Cruise Line, and I am always grateful for all of the comments that I get about Disney Cruise Line on those videos, and people that subscribe to me because of those videos, and people that message me talking about their own Disney Cruise Line journey and ask me questions about how to apply, or they're going through the application process themselves, or, you know, they just want to update me on how things are going for them in that process. But I do also get questions sometimes where people expect me to say, yes, I will be on board with you, or you may come across me at some point on board, or, you know, yeah, I'm still working for them, when in actual fact I don't work for the company anymore. I haven't done since August of 2021 actually. So a very long overdue conversation this is between us, between friends. But yeah, I made the decision in August last year to not return to the ships. And there's no tea, there's no gossip, there's no bad blood there at all. It's just something that I felt like was a necessary decision for me to make. At the time, I hadn't been on board since March of 2020, so I felt like as time had gone on longer and longer, and my time away from the ship prolonged, the less connected I felt, and the less hard I felt of a decision it would be to make to not return. I say hard a decision, it was still a very hard decision for me to make, and a decision I do still think about quite a lot, and I do sometimes, which is dangerous to think like this, I do sometimes think, what if I didn't quit? What if I did go back? What would I be doing right now? What would my life look like? But you can't live like that, and I am still happy with the decision that I did make to leave. Like I said, it was something that was necessary in order for me to move on with my life and progress. Yeah, the story behind that was really that obviously left the ship in March of 2020 because of the pandemic that must not be named, and the longer I was away, I was like, oh, I really miss it. I miss the people, I miss the lifestyle, I miss the people that I got to work with every day, like the kids that I got to hang out with, and I miss just ship life in general and the places that I got to visit. I missed all of that, I did. And there were a couple of opportunities that I did have, I won't lie, last year to return. I got offered 2 contracts last year, which I had to turn down. And then the third time when I was approached, I was supposed to be, I could have been on the Magic at Sea cruises in the summer of 2021. And then I did get offer, and I did originally accept to return to the Disney Fantasy. I think it would have been in August of 2021, and I would have left in like October, November time. But for me, I don't know, it didn't feel right to return anymore. I'd gotten to a point where, minus the 2-3 weeks we had of like cruising without guests because of the pandemic, I had a really, really positive experience leaving the ships. I loved my job, I was in a really good place, I had amazing people around me, amazing friends, amazing experiences on the ship and off the ship. I got to visit the most incredible ports of call, and I just really love my job. I still love that job, and it's still something that holds a very, very special place in my heart. And I felt like if I were to return post-pandemic, I know things would have been vastly different, and things are starting to, well, they have actually pretty much got almost back to normal since then. It's taken a very long time, but things are basically looking like they did pre-pandemic. But I knew that if I were to have returned post-pandemic, and if I were to become miserable, or if I were to start resenting the job, I wouldn't have been happy anymore, and I would have started to have all of this good and happy, positive, light emotions that I felt towards Cruise Line turn into sort of, like I said, resentment. It would have tainted the memories I did have that were good, and I wouldn't have been in a very good place, and I would have not looked back on my time with Cruise Line with good memories anymore. And I didn't want that to happen. I did love everything about Cruise Line. So I felt like in order to fully move on and fully accept that, I needed to leave. And that's why I left. I left for my own happiness, and I knew that if I were to return and I wasn't happy anymore, then I would have really regretted that decision. So instead I made the decision to leave, and it was a very hard decision. It was something that was very personal to me. That's why I didn't put it out there online, and why I didn't film a video like this to talk to you about it. And I felt like the more messages I got from people, the more inauthentic I was being by either avoiding the question completely or just being like, oh, I know I make these videos about Cruise Line, but I'm not returning. And I have no intentions to return. I am very tempted a lot of the time, especially now that I see some of my friends completely thriving. Most of them did not return to the one ship. They moved people around a lot after the pandemic, so all of the friends I had on the Fantasy ended up on various different ships, but mostly the Magic, the Dream. A lot of them have just done the Alaska season on the Disney Wonder, a lot of them did the Europe season on the Disney Magic, and then a lot of them just opened the Disney Wish. So I'm really, really happy and proud of those friends who have stuck around and are now going on to achieve the most amazing things. They're progressing in their career with Cruise Line, and yeah, I'm so happy for them. So it's really hard when I see all of them thriving so much and enjoying themselves and having the best time, to then not compare the life that I live right now on land, where it's nothing in comparison to that, and it's really boring. Basically nothing exciting really goes on in my life anymore, compared to what it did when I was on the ships. But I know that my time with Cruise Line is done now, and I want to move on to other things in my life, and there are other goals that I want to achieve with the Disney company. There are other positions and jobs that I would possibly be interested in that are on land. I feel like my time with them is not over. It's just that chapter of my life with that career are over, and yeah, I feel better for telling you about it. That does not mean I do not want to stop making videos about Cruise Line. I love talking about it. I love going through my experiences. I love helping other people through their experience of Cruise Line and their careers that they're starting off with Cruise Line. So feel free to continue to ask me questions. Maybe I'll do a Q&A actually about my time with Cruise Line, or just anything in general that people want to know about. I will maybe do a video about that for you. But yeah, that is the big, huge piece of information that I guess I've been keeping from you for quite a while, that I should have probably told you about months and months and months ago, but I just kept putting it off and putting it off. And maybe that was partly the reason why I didn't film videos recently, because I felt like I couldn't film anything else, considering I had this particular thing to talk to you about and get out of the way first. So now that has happened, I guess I can talk to you about other things that have gone on in my life that are good or positive or happy, or things that are happening in the future that you can look forward to seeing on my channel, or, you know, just it's just like two friends catching up. There's a couple of things that have happened in the last year or in the last couple of months that I want to talk to you about. So not long after I left Cruise Line, there was a thing. I've always wanted cats, like always wanted to have a cat, and my dad jokingly, obviously he wasn't being serious, maybe he was, I don't know, he said if I, basically it was a bribe, if I quit and I didn't return to Disney Cruise Line anymore, he would get me cats. And then when I left, I was like, hey, where's my cats? Anyway, carried on with life. And then towards the end of October, or maybe like end of September, somebody that my mum works with is my godmother's daughter. They live on a farm and they have a lot of cats and they had people living on one of their buildings in the farm that moved away and left their cats behind because they thought they would be happier there, with lots of land to roam in and other cats to interact with. They didn't realise that they hadn't had those cats neutered and they were pregnant. So then they'd had these 2 litters of kittens and they told my mum about it, and my dad jokingly one time was like, "Do you want some?" I was like, yes, of course I do. So we were like, okay, well, I want to see what they look like. So she sent over some pictures. I saw one picture in particular and was like, that's my cat. So I was like, I want to meet them. So we went and met. They were about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks old. No, I think they were probably about 5-6 weeks old when we met them. And they were the cutest things in the whole entire world. And I just fell in love. There were, I think, 8 or 9 of them running around me at the time. They were, like I said, from 2 different litters. And the one that I saw in the picture, the one that I immediately fell in love with, was from the younger litter. And then we were like, well, we can't have her on her own. So we decided that we would get a second cat for company. And that cat is from the slightly older litter. So I now have 2 kittens. I say kittens because obviously that was a year, like almost a year ago now. It's September. They have both had their first birthdays, but we've had them since November of 2021, and they are the greatest thing that's happened to me. My life is completely different now that I have these cats, but I couldn't imagine my life without them now. Like, life doesn't feel like it should be anymore without the cats. So they really truly have settled in and they are part of my family now. They are my cats. I live with my parents still, so technically they're a family cat right now, but if I were to move out from my parents' house, don't know when that will be. Probably not in the position to do that right now, but eventually at some point in the future when I do move out, I'll be bringing my cats with me. They are 2 girls. I'll put some, because they're not here right now, I think they're downstairs. I'm not entirely sure. They were running around chasing each other and playing where they shouldn't have been playing earlier. So I don't want to disturb them. I think they've calmed down. They're probably sleeping right now. But I will put up some pictures so you can see them. But I have 2. They are both girls. They are technically British short hair tortoiseshell cats, but they are black and orange and white. And they're the cutest thing. Like, I'll look at them sometimes and I'll be like, I can't believe how freaking cute these guys are. They are adorable. They're so like, the picture, I'll show you the picture that made me fall in love with these cats. It's this one right here. This is what made me want these cats. This is Maisie. She's the youngest one. And then this was the other one. This is Mabel. This is what she looked like when she was really tiny. And they are the absolute lights of my life, and I can't imagine life without them now. I love them so much, and I'm a cat mom. That's me. That's who I am now. I'm a crazy cat lady, and I have no regrets about that because I'm just very happy with my life now that I have kittens in them. But I'm very sad that they are not technically teeny tiny babies anymore. They are 1-year-olds. I don't know how that happened. Makes me very sad, but also, like, they're just the best thing in the whole entire world. So that's another thing that I forgot to update you on and that you've missed. But we move. What else can I talk to you about? I finally passed my driving test. Yeah, I obviously learned to drive when I was 17, which is the legal age requirement to learn to drive here in the UK. And then I learned for a little while. I did a driving test, which I didn't really tell many people about when I was 18. Lost my confidence a little bit after I did not pass the first time, which does not happen to every single person. Most people do not pass on their first time, but for me that was the end of the world for me. I felt like a failure, even though I knew I was a good driver, even though I knew I was capable. I just put it off. I went to uni obviously when I was 18, so I kept thinking to myself, oh, I'll do it after I've finished uni. Like, there's no point in me learning to drive in a different place now when I've been learning to drive at home, and that's where my test centre would be. So I kept putting it off, and then obviously that meant my theory test ran out, so I had to redo my theory test. And yeah, basically several years later, I'm now 26 and it was getting to a point where it was getting a bit ridiculous. Like, I was having to rely on my parents to drive me places or go on public transport, and I thought, I can't go on like this. So yeah, in December of last year I finally plucked up the courage to ask and to book driving lessons. Unfortunately, that driving instructor wasn't the best, not very reliable, and I was not prepared when, you know, they said, oh yeah, book a test now so we can work towards it, and they just basically taught me nothing. So then I had this test and I didn't feel prepared for it at all. So then I was running around trying to look for a new instructor. I found a new one. They were incredible. I did have to postpone that test and change it to a later date, and I passed that first time. So, I mean, second time, but yeah, it was so easy and amazing, and I feel so much better for having this new skill now. And then about a month after I passed my test, so I passed my test in May, and a month later, literally a month later, to the date at least, in the June, I bought my first car. So yeah, now I'm a little independent lady. I'm driving around back and forth to work by myself and like picking friends up, doing things with people that I couldn't do before unless I could rely on, you know, my parents to drive me to and from there. If I need to like go to the shops or something, I can just go to the shops. I can do whatever I like, and I feel like such a fool for not doing it sooner, but we live and we learn. That's something past Harriet will be proud of me now for doing though. So yeah, it's never too late. If there's something that you've been putting off for years and years and years, do it, because I feel so much better for passing my driving test now. So yeah, that's another thing that you've missed. So you've missed me leaving Disney Cruise Line, getting cats, and learning how to drive properly on my own and getting my own car. Those are like big things really. Like I did get a little tiny mini promotion in my job. That's going well still. I'm enjoying that. And there's one big thing that I've wanted to talk to you about, and that you will be getting a lot of content for in the coming months, but especially when it's happening. And that is, I booked to go to Disney World. I know, I'll let you sit on that for a second. I'm going to Disney World in January of 2023, so in, let me tell you how many days that is. I have it on my countdown app on my phone. In 111 days, I fly to Orlando. I'm spending the first couple of days with my friend who is one of my friends from the ship. She works for Universal Studios in Orlando, so I will be staying there with her for a couple of days and spending the first few days there. And then in 113 days I will be checking into Caribbean Beach Resort, and I will be staying there for 10 days, and I'm so excited. I've got all my park reservations already. I will obviously vlog that for you so you can see my time there. I have not been to Disney World or stepped foot on Disney property since March of 2020, literally a week before everything shut down because of the pandemic. I had a morning off the ship in Animal Kingdom, and obviously at that point the pandemic, that must not be named, the illness was around, but it wasn't as serious as it had got. It hadn't gotten to that really scary part yet, so things were like a little bit weird, but it was fine. And then obviously a week later everything shut down, so it's going to be so weird being on Disney property again, but also like I'm so excited. I am going on my own, but like that's nothing really because I'm used to flying out to Orlando by myself. I did that all the time when I was rejoining the ships, and I've got lots of people over there that I know and love that I can hang out with. So I'm looking forward to some time away from the UK in, I mean, it's not going to be like boiling hot, it's going to be January, but it's going to be warmer than it's going to be in the UK in January, let me tell you. And it's going to be Festival of the Arts. I've not experienced Festival of the Arts before. The only Epcot festival I've done is Food and Wine, so I'm so excited for that, to eat the food, do the mural, go and see some of the Broadway performances. I'm excited to look at some different rides that are new that I've not done yet. So I haven't done Mickey and Minnie's Runaway that's so hard to say. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Hollywood Studios. I have not done Rise of the Resistance in Hollywood Studios. Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, have not done that in Epcot. I have not done Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I've done it in Paris. Obviously it's the same ride, literally exactly the same ride. But, you know, it'll be nice to see that little expansion of the France Pavilion in Epcot. And obviously there's all of the 50th anniversary stuff still going to be there at that point. So I'm excited to catch that before it goes. Yeah, I'm just so excited to go to Disney World. I will vlog it for you. I don't know what those vlogs will look like because, as you know, I'm not the best at vlogging. I'm still finding my feet with that and still trying to gain the confidence to fully stand there with a camera like, hi everyone, I'm in Disney World. We'll see how that goes. I know obviously people are vlogging all the time in Disney and creating content, so it's not going to look weird. So I'm just gonna suck it up and do it, because it's something that I know will make me happy having on my channel, and something that I want to share with you guys. So yes, that's something to look forward to in the future. We haven't fully booked it yet, but I'm planning to go to Disneyland Paris next year as well, so that will probably be happening in the spring of 2023, so lots and lots of things happening. Basically, I'm just trying to travel more and do more things that I've missed because of the pandemic or because of being on a cruise ship and not always being home. So yeah, I'm really just trying to live my best life right now and just living in the moment and just enjoying things as they come and just trying to be more happy and just appreciating life on land again. So yeah, like I said, I will film those kind of videos for you. I will also 100% film Disney Cruise Line videos for you still, so if there's anything that you want to see or questions that you want to ask for a Q&A, let me know and I will film. It cut me off. That's the thing that I'm gonna have to get used to, because I do talk a lot. Basically, what I was saying was, yeah, if there's anything you want me to film, Disney Cruise Line related or anything else, let me know and I will film it for you. And I'm just so glad to be back and seeing you guys again. It's been a long time coming and I have missed it, and I'm grateful for all of the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I'm almost at 400 subscribers. How did that happen? I do not know. I didn't think I would even get to 100 subscribers. But now here I am, I'm almost at 28. Well, I might already have 28,000 views in general on my channel, which is so much to me. Like, what? That's crazy. Sometimes I sit back and I think, how did that happen? How did I get that many views or subscriptions? Crazy. Yeah, I will look forward to filming more videos for you guys and seeing you guys again, catching up again. But yeah, I just thought I needed to film this video really. I do have a vlog coming up soon. I did go to London again recently. I did go see theatre shows recently, so you will see some footage of that and other things that I got up to while I was there. And yeah, I'll look forward to seeing you guys again at some point in the future, but for now I will see you again next time in another video. Goodbye!